Welcome back to the island. Today we're gonna speed map a little supermarket tucked in the Keola Avenue. Program I'm using is Clip Studio Paint. I like to start off with a black canvas and to sketch out my ideas with a blue pen. Next we have the borders of the walls. For a placeholder, I'm choosing an orange and a green background for the walls and the floors. We're gonna change that in a little bit. I also have a folder with different tile sets that I'm using to fill in the structures. Most tile sets I found with a Google search. I piled them up in the last years and months since this isn't my first project. And I also like to modify and mix and match them. So what I'm doing now is cutting out all of the structures that might be interesting for the supermarket idea that I'm having in my mind and reassembling them next to the sketch. Looking at the tiles, I realized I didn't have an empty shelf. So what I did was copy the shelf that I liked the most and then I tried to paint over the products standing on the shelf. And since I thought all of those shelves are so gray and white, I kind of wanted to give my supermarket a more natural kind of vibe. That's why I decided to add more wood onto the shelves. And I think it turned out nice. Going back into the sketch, it didn't feel quite right, so I decided to reshape the supermarket, and since that idea was the one that stuck most with me, I rescheduled everything. I was already much happier with the layout. For size comparison, I used a character token and tried to walk it through the gaps. Being finished with the sketch, I started to build in the structures of the supermarket. I especially love this wooden shelf. I think it's gonna be for fruits and vegetables and so on. To get the shopping baskets, I repurposed this shopping cart that I found. And now it's to neatly organize the products onto the shelves. For immersion purposes, I added a little shadow onto the products. Thinking about what else could go into the shelves, I realized I wanted to add more things. That's why I got back into the tile sets. I decided on a plant, books, more mineral water, and some kitchenary stuff. I wanted the floors to look really polished. To achieve this, I copied the layer with all of the structures, turned them upside down, asked the layer to multiply, and let fade away the bottom. To strengthen this effect, I also added white stripes, which were also faded a little, and as you can see, it already looks more shiny and polished. For completion, I realized that I liked the grid, so I added tiles to the floor. I added some shadows in an upper layer, because the pictures will be separated in an under and an upper layer. Added some lighting from the outside. Fixed the upper layers. I resized it so it wouldn't take away too much storage. That's the way it looks right now. Let's playtest it. I'm adding a parallax to the map to help me guide me through where the character could walk and where not, where to place events and so on. For the under and the upper layer, I'm using the plugin Gulf Layers Graphics. I'm resizing the map to fit the picture. Fixing some events that will transport my character into the market. And what I'm doing now is mapping which parts of the supermarket will be accessible and which should be walls. Last thing I'm adding is also part of the plugin. I'm using Neonfly's regional events, and based on a tutorial of Echo 607, I'm mapping which tiles will make which sound effect. So we're gonna playtest this. Looking good so far. Here we can see that the upper layer didn't work quite well. I'm checking the pictures, saving them, and readjusting them back in Clip Studio Paint. This one was an easy fix since I found out which layer was the one that was missing. A final playtest and everything looks nice. So that's a final Okolani market. I thank you so much for joining me. My goal was to make a cozy little space, and I think it turned out nice. Adding NPCs really makes the place more lively. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.